welcome to the final video on making Tilly Tippy Toes. I hope you've enjoyed it and you've learnt a few things along the way. So she's nearly finished, not quite, a few little extra things that we need to be getting on with to make her fully completed. So first things first, let's talk about the neck. So when I made my original set of dollies, my dear little dollies, they were made with a wooden dowel that ran through the back of the neck right the way down to the waistband, and I felt that this time when I bought the actual pattern out I didn't want to use a wooden dowel because I thought it might be too complicated, so I didn't put the dowel in. Obviously when you saw me making the body the dowel wasn't included, but in hindsight, and that's a great thing, with all the pulling around that she went through when I was putting on her hair, I was setting her up and bending her neck this way and that, she did rather go through the mill, which has left her neck feeling a little bit loose, well, a little bit not quite as firm as it should be. So depending on how much child's play your dolly is going to get, I would highly recommend putting in the wooden dowel. Okay, now easy enough to do, so we backtrack. So this is just one of my prototypes that didn't make the mark, which I will be discarding. So going back, when you saw me making the body, before you get to the stage of actually closing that back body part, you are going to insert a wooden dowel. Now these dowels, these are going to be included in the kits, okay, so you haven't got to worry about thinking, where am I going to get one of them from? They will now be included as standard in all the kits, the complete kits and the remake kits. So all you simply have to do is, before you sew that up there, you just push it up through the body, right the way up into the neck, as far as you can go. You'll probably get to be about 2 centimeters from the top of the neck edge there. That's absolutely fine. And then I would recommend that you just overfill that top half there again with some more stuffing, and put some bulk of stuffing underneath the rod, the dowel, so it doesn't pull back down, and then you can close her up. So that will then give her stiffness in the neck, and as hard as I try, it won't bend, and she won't end up with this wrinkly floppy neck that she's got here. Poor little love. I mean, I really was pulling her around on my table as I worked on her, so no wonder she went a bit crinkly around the neck. So yeah, hindsight is a good thing, and I think it's going to be a good thing for you to have the dowel in your bodies. So if you didn't put the dowel in because you thought, oh well no, do you know what, my neck's not going to become floppy and I don't need it, and then when you finished making her you thought, I do need the dowel, it's not a problem at all, because luckily she has got this little area here sewn at the back, which we can quite easily undo, push the dowel in, close it back up again. Okay, so it's not an issue if you've got this far and you haven't put the dowel in, but now think, yeah, I do want that dowel to go in. So yeah, not a problem whatsoever. Pull away, add a few more stitches to undo it. So where it's gone a bit floppy in her neck, I'm just going to push some more in there just to make her a little bit more substantial. Now take my dowel and pop it up through the centre. Give it a little wiggle as it goes and it will slide up quite nicely. Obviously you're not going to be able to take it any further than where the cap is, but that's not a problem. You're just getting that nice firmness in that lower part of the neck. Turn her over and have a look at her neck. Yeah, that's looking much better, and that feels so much more stronger there. And then I'm just going to add a little bit more stuff in now over the top of the dowel. Just run that through a little bit. So same as before, we're just going to do a mattress stitch right the way along the opening. Okay, so you would never know that she's had a major operation because that looks exactly the same as it did earlier. Turning her over, Her neck is now nice and solid and it's not going to bend over at that 45-degree angle like it was. If you've got any creases, any crinkles, they're easy enough just to take your dowel needle and poke through the skin and just tweak any creases and crinkles that you may have anywhere on your body that you want to smooth out. Your dowel needle is what you will use for that. Okay, job done there. So now on to Tilly's lovely little glitter feet. Okay, and what you're going to need for this is your iron off pen, a brush that you're going to use for your glue, your PVA glue which dries clear, you'll need your glue gun, you'll need a clear top coat, either a top coat or a clear nail varnish, some crystal gems, and of course your glitter. Now we have got some sale glitter in our online shop at the moment, left over from the fairy wings. I think we've got little 15-gram bags in there, which will be plenty enough to do Tilly's feet. So I'm using a couple of my discarded prototypes for this exercise. In your pattern book you will see that there is a layout template for you to follow to produce a nice shape for her little shoes there. Okay, so by using the iron off pen, if you make a mistake and you don't like where you've drawn it, that's absolutely fine, because you can just go and iron it and that will remove that mark. So you can sort of keep having a go to get the shape right. So it's just on a curve, and then this is a short curve which comes into the side of the foot there, and then this curve here, this is a lot higher, this comes right up to the side here. Okay, so shortish curve going in there and a higher curve on that side. Okay, once you've done that side, repeat for the other. And at this stage have a look, see if you like them, check the symmetry. And as I say, if this point and you don't like them, just go and iron them off and start again. Okay, and then when you turn it over, just put a little mark there where that section is there, and another little mark there, and then you need to join those two bits together. One is obviously higher than the other, so that one just sort of sweeps down to meet that one there. Okay, same with this side. That curves and sweeps down. Okay, so that's our line marked in pen, iron off pen. Then take your glitter, get that ready at the open. Take your glue, and then your brush, where have I put that? There it is. And you're just going to paint on the glue up to that mark, nice and liberally. Make sure you really get it in, pushed into those that side seam there. Okay, so I've gone over once and I'm also now going to go over a second time. So the glue's really pasted on nice and liberally. That's good. Then we are going to take our glitter. Firstly, take a piece of paper, fold it in half. Then you've got something to shake the glitter out onto, and you can then pour that back into your pot, tub, packet once you've finished. So you simply just take your glitter and you just shake away. Make sure you get underneath. And then tap it down. Most important part, make sure that glitter sticks into the glue. Tap, 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 tap. Around the front. Into that seam. And then once your glitter is all done all the way around, give it a tap off. Don't use a finger that you've just used to pat with. Use another finger. So pat that glue up, that glitter off. And then repeat with the other one. And then after you've removed all the excess glitter, just grab your bit of paper that the glitter is on. Fold it along that crease. And then you can get your glitter and you can just pour that back in to your pot or your packet for next time's use. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to leave that for a couple of hours. I would normally leave it overnight so that I know that when I came back in the morning it's completely dry and completely gone off. So here's one I did earlier, and this one's had time to dry. So the next thing to do after you've done the glitter is you need to seal that glitter in. So with that we're going to use just a top coat. So you can use a top coat or you can use a clear nail varnish, whatever you would like to use. Basically all you're going to do is you're going to take your top coat and you are going to completely cover the whole of the glitter area. I'm not going to do it because I've already done it. So that's the next step, is to seal the glitter with a top coat or a clear nail varnish. Let's just move those over there so they're not in my way. So now we're going to add some little gemstones just around the edge, the top edge of it. And for this I'm going to use my hot glue. And I've got my gemstones. These are called AB flat-backed gemstones, and you can get them off of eBay. And they come in lots of different colours and lots of different sizes. Those are the bigger ones, and then I'm going to use these tiny little ones. So take those. Let's move that over there. And tip them out onto into a little dish or something. You're also going to need a cotton bud. So start at the back when you're working so that you come all the way around and then to the back, because if you have got a little bit of a gap it's not going to matter so much on the back there. But I'm just going to start on this side here. Okay, so like I say, work fast and only apply a really, really tiny bit of glue at a time. And it needs to be really thin, because if it's too thick you'll get overspill, and once you put your gem on it will spill, the gem will push down and then the glue will squirt out from it. So tiny weeny little bit of glue, just enough to apply 2 gemstones. And I've got my cotton bud and I'm just picking up my stone And I'm popping it on, and then I'm just going to press those two down. Move on to the next one. Next space. Tiny bit of glue. Gemstone on. And press those two down. And then you're basically going to work all the way around the foot. You have to keep picking these up because they sometimes lay down the wrong way. Okay, so obviously I would work all the way around and on both feet, but you can see just how pretty they are, and that just finishes that top edge of her little glitter shoes. Now, another thing I've done a little while ago, I bought one of those like glitter glue pen things. You could use that along the edge. You don't have to have anything on the edge if you don't want to. If you've still got your pencil, your iron off mark there, just get the iron and that will come off, or bring the glitter above that line. But I just like that little edge to it, it just finishes it off, I feel. Okay, onwards. And so there are her cute little glitter feet. Really cute. Okay, so the next thing to do is we're going to look at her face, because again, with all the, you know, doing the hair and everything like that, you might have found that the pencil marks that you did for the eye shaping has been reduced. Sometimes it can go a bit non-existent. So I'm just going to re-strengthen those eye lines. So I'm basically just going to do that eye socket crease again, strengthen that. And I'm going to add a bit of shading. And I'm going to bring it down under the eyelashes. And I'll do some highlighting with the white. Add a little bit of white highlight to her nose. Okay, so as you can see, that's just strengthened that eye area for her. Now with the lips, I was having a rake around and I found these. I remembered I used these as well. These are just gel pens, and they're quite nice to use on your dolly's lips, because again, they're easy to control, unlike paint, and you can get a more of a precise shape. And plus, these ones that I've got, they've got a bit of glitter in as well. So they're glitter gel pens. No idea where I got them from, but I'm sure if you searched you would find them. So yeah, that's just giving her a little bit of a glittery look there to the lips. But of course, if you want to go down the route of putting the resin in, like I showed you as well, then that's another option for a shiny lip look. You can see she's got little earrings in. So when I was doing the gemstones on her feet, I also popped a couple of gemstones on her ears as well, using the hot glue gun. So they will stay on quite nicely on her little ears there. So let's put some blusher on her. So this is just our normal blusher that we use all the time. And I'm using the number 7, and it's called Damns and Mist. It's current, it's only a couple of years old, so I know it's a current blusher. Okay, so as usual, pop your brush in your blush and wipe off on the tissue. And then just dot it over her cheeks. Wipe off and dot it on. And you can see that this really brings out her complexion. Makes her look more 3D. And we're also going to add some to the top of the forehead. Get my hand out of the way. That just gives her a rosy glow all the way round. So on goes her lovely little dress. Really cute little sleeveless dress. And she also has a little cardigan to keep her warm. The cardigan pattern comes with short sleeves, mid-waist sleeves, like this one, and long sleeves. So you've got the 3 choices of sleeve length for the cardigan. So the midway sleeve cardigan is good if you want to hide the joints in the arms. If you didn't want them particularly showing, they would show obviously with the short sleeves. If you wanted to cover the joints in the arms, then the midway sleeve length is a good choice. Now you might want to add some more jewellery to your dolly, absolutely fine. If you'd like to add some proper earrings, some real everyday earrings, it's very easy to do. You simply take a darning needle and you pop a hole through her ear, pull it right the way through. That has now created a little hole in her ear. And then you can take your earrings. I've got these little ball earrings. Take the back off and just poke that through that little hole that you've just made, like so. And then you can put the back on without dropping it. Okay, and that clips nicely in there. So yeah, so they're just normal, bog standard ladies, adults, girls earrings. So I'll put the other one on in a minute. And then you can also purchase bracelets from the cheapy shops. You can get about 8 or 10 on a card, and they're child's or adults little bracelets, and that can be used as a necklace for her. So there she has a nice little necklace. It's not going to lay straight because she's laying down, don't forget, it's probably going to slip. But if she was stood up, that would hang quite nicely. Okay, let's do the other earring. Okay, those are 2 earrings on. And so laid side by side there, you can see the difference between the painted eyelashes and the real eyelashes. And here we have this little beauty. I just love this hair. This is auburn, and this was the one that I did the top knot on in one of the hair tutorials. I think she's absolutely stunning with this beautiful hair. She's got some little hoopy earrings, which I think look really cute. She's got the false eyelashes, and she has got gold painted tippy toes. Absolutely beautiful. And then her friend, this is her friend. This is the one that I did the side parting on, and we covered the weft edge using some hot glued on flowers. And she too's got the false eyelashes, and she has got some lovely white painted tippy toes. And her hair is a beautiful chestnut colour. Absolutely gorgeous. And then finally, the last 2 of the 6 that I made. So we have this one, and she has got the cerise funky mohair. It's tied up at the back in a pollyanna, and I've got long wispy fringy bits, and she's got the false eyelashes, and her cardigan has got the long sleeves because she's got the bendable arms and the bendable legs. And her friend is this one, and this is the one that I made using the black, the raven premium mohair that we do. She's got painted on eyelashes, and she's got false eyelashes, and they're all sporting a lovely pair of Frenchies. She's got gold painted feet, and she's got her Frenchies on, her pink Frenchies, and she's got pink feet. Okay, so let's line them all up again for you so you can see all the colours together. So this one here, this is Coco, and she has got her raven premium mohair. And here we have Cinnamon, and she is wearing our cerise funky mohair. And this one is Caramel, and she has got a chestnut hair weft. She is Almond, and she's got the bronze luxury mohair, and she's got a couple of strands of the blonde weaved in as well, just to give her some little highlights. This one is Barley, beautiful Barley, and she has got the auburn mohair weft. Squash them along a little bit. And finally, but not least, this one is Vanilla, and she's got the platinum, no it's not, it's champagne. She's got the champagne blonde curly mohair weft. So I think you'll agree there is something for everyone there with those 6 gorgeous skin tones. So yes, I think you'll agree that there's something there for everyone, and I'm sure you've already made up your mind about which colourway you're going to be going with your Tilly Tippy Toes. So thank you very much for watching. I appreciate your comments. I hope you've enjoyed the series on making your Tilly Tippy Toes, and I'm really looking forward to seeing your creations once they become available and you pop them on our lovely little group. So yeah, so once again, thank you my lovelies, and I'll catch up with you soon. Bye!